Okay, this is another webinar of BetterTrader. I will share with you my screen so you can see it. This webinar will be about the BackTester. Before we will start, I will give a short introduction about the company, what are we doing, what is my role here, and what is the story that this company started, and what is our target to help traders, and how, and which kind of traders, short terms, long terms. I will pass a quick introduction about the system, the main features, and then we will get for the best practice of use of the backtester. So first of all, BetterTrader founded in 2014. The company established to support day traders. After myself, I've been a day trader for more than 7 years, full-time job, including algo trading and discretionary trading. I used to work in professional trading room, and I will tell you a short story. This experience was very good, but it was very hard to process information. And I'm talking about 10 years ago, and today to process information, it's even harder because there is much more information. So the idea behind BetterTrader was to support professional traders, including retail traders, with analysis that they can get it in real time, that we can support them like they have team of analysts that doing every calculation and algorithm that run behind and support it for the traders in real time. So the trader can take a decision to buy, to sell, how to buy, when to sell, and so on. To be a trader, it's hard enough that you don't need to do all this analysis by yourself. And it's not possible to do all this analysis. Even if you can do it, you cannot do it so fast. So the idea behind BetterTrader is to equip day traders with enough actionable analysis without any bias, without any human bias, that they can take the next action in the market and they understand why they're doing this and what is the statistics behind this. And not just like buying because they feel because it's a good opportunity to buy. Okay, during this conversation, you have the chat on the left tab, so you can write there whatever you like me to answer. I can do this in real time if we have this time. And it's very useful to make sure that you got answer to the question that you care about. Now, a quick introduction about the system. BetterTrader support 2 or 3 types of information. The first one is the economic calendar. Not only we're providing the information, like the actual number, you get the analysis. If this release is a bit stronger or extremely stronger. So let's take the core CPI that released earlier today, and let's see, it's extremely weaker. The expected was 2.4. The actual number, it's 2.2. It's extremely weaker. This 0.2% looks like very small difference, but it's extremely weaker because it's very important number, and such a surprise, it's something abnormal. So extremely weaker, this is the first indication that you get. You know what's happened. The perspective insight. This release is the most negative surprise in the last 1 year and 2 months. Okay, now you get better perspective why this is extremely weaker. We don't see this kind of weaker surprise for a long time. Okay, so this is the indication. And for any economic event, you have this kind of indication. We will get back to this event because it's a very important event, and then we can explore this event with the backtester. And this is the reason we are here today. So any economic event, you don't only have the actual number and the indication if it's weaker or stronger, you get indication of the magnitude of surprise. That's one thing about the magnitude of surprise. Another another indication that you get is the perspective insight. If it's plug something specifically and special in the history, you get it here, and everything happened in real time. You get it with the numbers. Then you get the trade ideas that relevant to this release. So In similar, what's happened, not let's say, that's what I used to do day by day, to trade the markets according to economic events and market movements. So here we have very important economic events. Which market should I trade, the S&P 500 or the euro dollar? And here you see the trade ideas. What is this trade ideas? It's based on similar releases of core CPI that was extremely weaker. We don't have so much like this, but in these times that it's happened, the best correlation, what's happened is that the euro dollar went up. And there is more instrument that correlatively here. So I can open this trade idea, see the entry price, see the profit target and the stop loss. And here is important, let's review for a moment like the full situation. In the past 3 years, this event magnitude reading was the same as today, 9 times. Here is the performance of this trade idea in this 9 times. So in the last 3 years, we had extremely weaker core CPI 9 times. 6 times, the market went up. So this trade idea was a win. 2 times the market reached down, and then you got your stop loss. It's happened. 6 win, 2 loss, and 1 no significant move in the market. So in this case, you can understand, okay, this situation happened 9 times in the last 3 years. And most of the time, 75% of the time, the market went up. The trade duration to the market to reach the peak was 37 minutes. And then let's look about this bar. This bar represents how success looks like. So you as a trader, you care about the direction. Okay, so you have it here, very good indication, 6 win, 2 loss. And you care about what to expect from this movement. And then you can see the delta for the stop loss and the delta for the profit target and for the second profit target. And I got questions from many traders because these numbers here, not always the same what you trade. Sometimes you trade the futures, sometimes you trade another futures contract, and this is the spot numbers. So it doesn't really relevant for you the exact entry price that we're mentioning here. Once the event is alive, like once this trade idea is in real time, you have here current market indicator. So you will see it. Let's see if we have something open now. Okay, let's take this one. You see this trade idea of the oil. You can see the current price, it's here. So when you see the current price the same as the entry price, probably now is the time to get into the market with the futures market that you use with the futures contract. And then you have the delta. So you all just need to get this delta, 7.25 for the S&P 500. So you don't have to have exactly the same price like we have. What you need to make sure to see the current market price, the same with the entry price, it means that now is the time to get into the market. This is about this. Let's get back to the core CPI example. So we have the Euro USD. This is the situation. This bar represents first profit target and second profit target. First profit target, it's every time, it's the delta that every one of these 6 win reached. So every single time that this trade idea long euro dollar was a success, the market reached this first profit target. And the second profit target is the median. Like it's kind of the third of the third in the if we order all the deltas, the second profit target is the median. It means you should expect more than the first profit target because this is the minimum profit in all of this trade, and you can expect about more here in the second profit target. And so this is about the trade idea. Now let's go to the trade ideas tab. This trade idea was appear here in the trade idea tab. In this trade idea tab, we have several indications. We have price-driven trade ideas and news-driven trade ideas. The trade idea that we got from here, from the core CPI release, it's news-driven trade ideas. It's the trigger was the news. The trade idea that you can see here is price-driven trade idea. Let's take, for example, this one, the price-driven trade idea, long S&P 500 in this price, 28.96. This trade idea already reached the second profit target. But more interesting, it's why this trade idea triggered. And this is something unique that you can find in this system. And this is something that professional traders doing day by day. They economic events and the trading leading and the follower markets. So this trade idea is price-driven trade idea. The S&P 500 is the follower market currently for the silver. This trade idea was detected after silver moved up 0.28% in the last 5 minutes. Significantly move up of the silver create a lot of demand for the S&P 500. So the system track all this kind of movement and all this kind of correlation and generating backtesting how this kind of trades and market tend to move. So here you can see the S&P 500 went up after this. This time it's success, but sometimes you get the stop loss, of course. As long as the percentage is good, you keep playing the numbers of the statistic. So just to summarize till now, we have news-driven trade idea and price-driven trade ideas. News-driven triggered by the economic events, price-driven triggered by some other market movement. And in the trade ideas tab, you can see both of them. In the calendar, you see all the economic events and so on. Now let's see how we can use the backtester. And this is very important tool that traders can have, because you want to see what's happened in similar situation. Let's say of this one, like the silver went up. We indicating, the system indicating that there is good long trade idea for the S&P 500. But you want to see the statistics. 8 times it was wins, 3 times it was stop loss. Okay, I want to see how success looks like. I want to see and prepare for the market. And for this, I want to see really every single chart about how the markets move. And then you have the backtester, the same for core CPI. So now on the backtester, I want to take you to another situation. There is economic event that about to release, let's say tomorrow. We did this conversation, by the way, last Thursday. It was before the unemployment rate in the US market, and it was great success. And the success, it's not about what we predict, because we are not a predictor. We are a tool that traders can use in order to prepare better for trading. And before the unemployment rate last week in this session, and we do it any single we're doing this example every single webinar of the backtester. We're passing over the unemployment rate, and there is very interesting situation. When the unemployment rate it's weaker than expected, more unemployees than expected, the S&P 500 went up after this release. Negative unemployment rate lift the S&P 500. You can see it this time, like it's like many times it's happened. The unemployment release here, and then the market went up. The unemployment release, the market up, and so on and so on. And this kind of movement in the markets of the S&P 500 went up after negative unemployment rate. It's something that's systematically in the markets for a long time. So before the event release, you can prepare. Let's say you load the unemployment rate. I will show in a moment how we do it. But the story is that before the event release, you can load the unemployment rate, and then you can play with the situation. What if it's going to be weaker? Let's see. What if it's going to be stronger? Let's see what's happened. And let's say here the setup is 15 minutes before and 90 minutes after. So let's say that you trade for longer term. So let's do 3 hours after the release, and let's pick last from 3 days ago. So we capture the last situation. We want to see all the weaker release of unemployment rate in more than 3 years, and you see 9 out of 11 times the S&P 500 moved up. And then let's open it, every single chart. This is last Friday. The market went a bit down, stay here, and then move up significantly. This is last Friday. This is one time before. The market went up and then a bit down and then up significantly. So you can see that for this market move up steadily, usually in every Friday, rate is negative. And even here, the market went a bit down and then reached some peak up. So you don't need to wait till here, the market back. But and here it's another time. This is very significant move. So you can prepare before the unemployment rate going to release. You know that if it's going to be weaker, you're going to be focused on the S&P 500, and you don't going to short the S&P 500 because this is the wrong things to do, because all the statistics showing here the opposite. So this is the way that you can prepare with the BackTester before the event release. But not only before the event release, after the event release, you want to see what's happened. There is extremely weaker core CPI. Okay. And there is indication for the Euro USD. And then you can, with one click, you can get all the situation of this release. So what's happened in of weaker core CPI. So we will open here the Euro USD. The last chart, it's for today. And this is the movement, by the way, today. This is the release. And even let's put it 1 minute so you can see that you really can act on it. This is the release. The entry price here, it's about here, 1633. So here is the entry price that the system indicated. And the profit target, it's somewhere here. So all this movement you can capture with this trade idea today too, because you have the ability to get a trade idea in real time, but it's not enough for professional traders. You want to see the charts. You want to see what's happened before you executing. You want to see what's happened in similar situation. So what you can do is you opening every single time of the same trade idea, and you want to see the volatility in the market. The market went up in the first minutes. You don't trade the first minutes. You open the trade after, and then the market will continue to win. And here again, first minutes very volatile, but then you have very good opportunity after several minutes. By the way, this pattern, it's exactly like today. After several minutes, the market went down a bit, and then there is good opportunity to get into the market this time. Here is the release. Here is the better opportunity to get in, and that's exactly what's happened today. Here is the release. Here is the better opportunity to get into. And the way that you can get into the market confidentially, with confidence, is just because you can see the charts, you can understand how it's work, you can see when it's not working, why it's not working, or how much time it's taken, the volatility in the one. And when it's working, how it's work. You see here the market jump up, bounce back almost to before, and then continue. So you have some ability to see that core CPI generate not excessive volatility in the market. There is some opportunity to get into the market after several minutes, and this trade takes some time to mature, and the same for today. So the BackTester gives you the ability before the event release, like we saw with the unemployment rate, to backtest different situation and then see and prepare what you're about to trade. And after the event release, with one click on the BackTester, you can see similar situation to the same trade idea that you see here. So here the trade idea is long Euro USD. Here you can see the charts, what's happened in similar Euro USD situation. This is the BackTester. You can do it for any economic event. So let's say tomorrow there is retail sales in the US, core retail sales and retail sales. Interestingly, there is potential trade idea for both of them. Let's do even some preparation. Let's say that core retail sales, it's about to release tomorrow. We want to trade it. It's going to be, we don't know what's the number going to be, but we want to prepare which instrument we're going to trade, and how, like, even to prepare. So we can see that if it's going to be strong, there is opportunity, let's say here, pound dollar, 6 out of 6 times, pound dollar move down following similar stronger release of core retail sales. So if I'm going to trade it, probably I'm going to do something like this to load the pound dollar. It's really how I prepare for trades before the event release, not after the event release. I prepare my screen before. GBP USD. I like to load them twice because one time I like to see the and then the 5 minutes. You have your own preferences, but before the event release, I like to see like 5 minutes and 1 minute so I can get the bigger picture. And this is if it's going to be stronger. So if it's going to be stronger, there is good statistics that it's going to be a good opportunity to short the pound dollar. But if it's going to be weaker, and it's not a bit weaker or extremely weaker, it's weaker. That's the indication that we have here in the table. Maybe long Nasdaq or long gold. So let's say we can do like gold. I like to load with Rwanda, but you can choose whatever feed that you want. It doesn't really matter because all what we need looks it's about the delta. So the same, I can open it like 5 minutes and 1 minute. The gold, I can get the bigger picture and the smaller picture. And now the event it's about to release. And then I know, okay, if it's going to be weaker, exactly weaker indication, and the indication going to be here, the magnitude of surprise, we're probably going to get like gold long trade, and then I will get the delta for the stop loss and profit target and all the statistics. And the same, if it's going to be stronger, we have some good trade for the pound dollar. So everything set up here. Once the event release, I will wait and I will click on the BackTester. So even before the event release, I want to see how the gold move in this 5 out of 6 times. I can click here, one click on the BackTester, and the BackTester will load with all these charts in similar situation in the past. So no surprise. I can prepare for any situation. Once the event release, I already saw what's happened in similar situation. It's give very big advantage that your eyes already saw potential situation and you react to them, and that's what make the difference between hesitation and a lot of nervous and I don't want to call it gambling, but like to guess something without really see why and understand why you're doing this. And this is the opportunity that you can do with the BackTester. If you have questions, now is the time. I will do a quick intro now for the voice assistant. If you have specifically question, now it's the time to ask. The voice assistant. This system generated a lot of data and notification and things that you need to be aware of. But finally, you have more things that you are doing. You have more screens. You have more web browsers that open, and even you sometimes stand and not near the computer. That's the reason that in professional trading rooms, there is Squawk Box. Today, Squawk Box, it's a speaker that there is some human behind that notifying you and reminding you that there is economic event, there is some good volatility, there is some happened here and some news there. These kind of services tend to cost $100, $200 a month of the voice assistant. Here it's some complementary tools of the system. You can start to use the voice assistant from the lower package, even from $10 a month. And the idea about this voice assistant is to give you the ecosystem, even if you're trading from your home, the ecosystem that you will be notifying on the important things that happened. So what's important things that happened? First, this reminder for me as a trader, I stay updated. Okay, there is natural gas storage in 5 minutes. If I have position in natural gas, I will be out of the market. If I want to prepare now, I have some short time, but let's prepare it. And there is some tweets in Bloomberg, like some central bank raised the rates and so on. So you get stream of information all the time by voice, so you can stay on top of everything without missing important event just because you don't have this tab open or your eyes not on the screen. And that's very important, including like new lows for markets, volatility that injected, the release itself, like the voice assistant will say, natural gas storage, extremely stronger, potential trade idea for natural gas, oil, and so on. I will do a quick overview about the pricing because we get many questions about this and I want to make it clear. There is two common subscriptions. There is the BackTester plan and the Smart plan. What you can see here, the Smart plan, it's everything that you see in the system except of the BackTester. So all the left side, the charts and everything else except of the BackTester. And the Smart plan is everything without the BackTester, everything including the BackTester starting from $49 a month for the yearly plan. And the Smart plan is $33 a month. So if you used to use the desktop, this is the main question. Probably the BackTester, it's more for you. And if you use mobile only, probably the BackTester, you don't need it, and the Smart plan, it's enough for you. So it depends how you use to trade from mobile and web or just mobile. That's the main, I think, characteristic of these two. The BackTester give you to see what you saw today. We do have offer now for the BackTester instead of almost $600 a year. We have this $300 package, which I will place this link in the chat. You always can email me if you have any question. This package gives you access to everything for 1 year for $300, and this still here for now. And I think it's very good advantage if you consider to upgrade. And that's it. Thank you for joining us today. And if you have any question, you're welcome to send us, and have successful natural gas storage trading. It's about to release in 3 minutes. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.